All right. Hey there, folks. Welcome to week 2 for the month of September. We're working on the tune. Double check that I'm recording. Yes, I am. We're working on the tune Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Any questions, comments, concerns with this tune? Any other? Music in general? Ukulele? Life? Liberty? Hernia surgery? Anything else that I have a little bit of expertise in? Yeah, you had mentioned at the top of the hour that singing and playing is going to be a really big challenge with this tune. One of the things I really like about, diving into a song is that, there are certain ways that we can approach it so that we challenge ourselves with different elements, right? Like we can be like, oh, this month I really want to work on, making that riff sound a little bit more like solo playing, a little bit adding the chords while I'm playing it. Other months we want to just dial back everything so that we can get the singing going with the chords, right? Like we want to play the most basic form of the chords. We don't want to try to expand on the rhythm or the vocabulary. We don't want to make our riff. We might not even want to play our riff. We might just want to play the chords as our riff, because I really think that discovering those edges for yourself, it's going to be unique to whoever's learning the tune, right? And also, if you revisit this song in a year, you're going to be a different player with different skill sets and all of those things, and you can really approach this. That's what I really love about differentiated arrangements. Having multiple entry points for a tune is that it creates a little bit of sustainability. It creates a way to be able to revisit a tune, and that tune is not just locked in like stone. It's not that's the way that you play it. It's like every time you approach a tune, you've got an opportunity to be able to like build a deeper connection with that tune and connect to it with the player that you are at this moment, right? So yeah, the singing and playing, where I really want to make sure that we're able to approach this a lot. Like I want to start this week on working on singing and playing and some strategies around that. But before we get into that, why don't we do a quick review of the chords we need to know, the rhythm, and then why don't we play through a little bit of this tune, at least so you can hear the melody moving, okay? So for the chords that we need, we are doing a D chord, 2, 2, 2, and 0. We're doing an A chord, 2, 1, 0, 0, F sharp minor, and then our E7, 1, 2, 0, 2. Cool. Let's think about, while we're doing this warm-up, transformation, right? We always want to think about connectivity between our chord shapes. For me, it's the pointer in the middle doing a little switch. See how if I switch the strings that they're on, then really my pointer finger just kind of slides back into that natural position on the first fret. Right? And then when I go to F sharp minor, I want to put my ring finger down. And then when I go to E7, my pointer finger and middle finger do that switch again. See? They go G string, A, C string switch, and then the ring finger can go. Okay, whole notes. 1, 2, ready, D. 2, ready, A. 2, ready, F sharp. 2, ready, E7. 2, ready. Yeah, my original sound. I just realized that. Sorry about that. I don't want to unmute you. I want to turn my original sound on. There we go. Okay, let's try that one more time. 2, 3, D. 1, 2, ready, show me A. F sharp minor. And E7. Nice. 2 more times. 2, and ready, A. 2, and ready, F sharp. 2, ready, E7. Nice. And let's finish on A here. Nicely done. All right, let's see if we can try it with our... No, let's actually work on right hand first. 2, 3, sounds like this. So 1, 2, and 4. Nicely done. 1, 2, and 4. Beautiful. Just to get our voice moving a little bit, what I'm actually going to do is sing the first line. You've got a fast car and I want a ticket to anywhere, okay? And we're just going to practice that while we're covering the strings with our left hand like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Here we go. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. See if we can try it. 1, 2. Ready? Here we go. You got a fast car. I got a ticket to anywhere. 2. Ready again. You got a fast car. I got a ticket to anywhere. Now, if that feels overwhelming, we can slice this piece of bread even thinner, right? We can say, oh, this is a little bit too big of a meal. I can't chew on this. So what I want you to do is start that rhythm again, playing the rhythm with me. And now, instead of trying to sing the second line, we just sing the first half. You got a fast car. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Ready? Here we go. You got a fast car. And we stop. 2. Ready? Again. You've got a fast car. 1, 2. Ready? Again. You got a fast car. 1, 2. Ready? Last time. You got a fast car. Good. 1, 2. Ready? Whole thing. You got a fast car. I got a ticket to anywhere. Awesome. Remember, building blocks, right? Like you can feel how one whole line is too much. But if you can segment it so that you're only doing the first half until it feels solid, then you move to the second half until it feels solid, then you can combine those two together, right? Like always remember, you can dissect something a little bit further. One of the things that you can also do is take the rhythm from being the entire rhythm and just doing something super simple. You could go, you got a fast car. Because remember, even though I'm doing quarter notes like this with my right hand, my hand is actually moving the same as if I was doing, right? My hand is still moving the same way as if I was just doing quarter notes. See how my hand is actually moving in the identical way? Even though I'm creating a different rhythmic pattern, my hand is still moving like that. So if you can keep time and actually be able to sing and play, it really sets you up with some nice, early steps to being able to play the rhythm eventually. Does that make sense? Always remember, you can simplify what you're doing. If it feels like a struggle, if it feels like you're kind of disconnecting with the rhythm, it feels like you're losing the tempo, then you can just dial the difficulty back always, right? Okay, cool. Let's try the rhythm with the chord changes. Remember, D, and then we switch to the A on the offbeat. 1, 2, ready, here we go. D, down, A, up, down, F sharp, E7. Beautiful. D, then A. Nice. Good. And I'll sing just a little so you can hear the melody. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. Let's end there on D, okay? So now let's remind ourselves of the other chord progression in this tune, right? We've got the chorus of this song. Sorry, that's the wrong one. We've got the chorus of this song, D, full measure, A, F sharp minor, and E, right? And then we move to dividing our measure again, D to F sharp and E, D to F sharp and E, and then D to E. Let's try these all just as whole notes and half notes, basically splitting, right? So we're going to play 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, right? Until we get to the repeat, D, and we're going to try to shift on that. Cool? Whole notes and half notes. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Driving in your car, speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. Really lights went down, and your arm looks good wrapped around my shoulder. Had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone. D, be someone. And then switch to E7. Cool. Let's try it with the rhythm now. 2, 3, 4. Nice. City lights from the and your arm looks good wrapped around my shoulder. And feeling let's try that one more rotation. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. In my car, speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. City lights went out before, so your arm looks good wrapped around my shoulder. I had a feeling that I belong. I had a feeling I could be someone, Nice. Okay, so we take that away. Visual cue. 2, 3, 4. In your car, speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. City lights stretched out before us, and your arm left on my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belong. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. Nicely done. All right, cool. Any questions about, I would say, like the basic information for this tune? What do we call them? Like building blocks, foundational building blocks? I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm trying to like think of a way to use language, like really easy language that's like, this is our first priority. Know how to do this drum pattern and know how to do, in this case, this progression. No, that's not true. There's 2 progressions in this. These progressions, right? But have you noticed now that you started to learn repertoire and things like that, that usually it's 1 progression, sometimes it's 2 progressions, and every once in a while it's 3, right? I would say this is learning with me. I often will lean towards more difficult content, more difficult material, just because, it's enjoyable for me. But if you like listen to the radio, if people don't listen to the radio. If you like listen to the top 10 in like pop hits or whatever, most of the time it's like 1 progression for the whole song, right? And so you really want to think about that to yourself. It's like, if that's the only thing that's happening in this tune, I should probably learn how to do it. And I should probably learn how to do it automatically, right? That's really what we're looking for. I should learn how to do this, and I should feel like I can't get this wrong, right? Though that's a really solid foundation for building anything more advanced or more complicated than that. Cool. Any questions, comments, concerns about that? I just want them to backtrack, clip vertical, backtrack saving. Yeah, I'm trying a new thing in my OBS recording, so sorry, I just stepped away for a technical thing. Okay, so this week I did want to work on vocal stuff. I know it's short on time. We did it a little bit at the beginning, but I really do want to get into the riff for this tune, okay? So we're going to try and do this as quickly as possible. If it feels a little fast, remember this is being recorded, so that'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel pretty soon. Oh no, we got time. Stands at 45. Yeah, we do have time. Okay, cool. So let's work on the riff. What I want to do is actually just play an A chord like this. And I want to try to take my thumb and play the C string while I'm holding this A chord. Okay, now what I want to do is actually put my ring finger down on the 2nd fret and move that note up by a half step. And when I do that, I really want to try to keep my pointer finger down, because if I lift, then I go back to the note I started on. You feel that? You're playing 1, you're playing 2 on the C string, and you're going back to the 1st fret. All right, now what I want to try to do is, instead of playing those as a single note on the C string, I actually want to take my pointer finger and just strum 8th notes. See how I did a down strum there? Up strum, put my ring finger down, and then a down strum back to the 1st fret. See if you can try that. Nice. Good. One more time. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to add 1 up strum to that. Down, up, down, up. Cool. That's going to give us our first part of our melody. Okay, so that's the first part of our melody that we've gotten with our strumming. Da da dun dun. Now what we're going to do is we're going to finish our rhythm like we did with our main rhythmic cycle. So really this is the same rhythm we were playing. It just has an upstrum between 1 and 2. Instead of going 1, 2, and, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and, right? From there, rhythm's the same. So with the right hand, see if you can play that whole cycle. 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and down, up, down, up. Don't worry about the left hand for now. Just try and play the right. Yeah, exactly. You feel how 1 and 2 and is a little different, but this is the same. 1 and 2 and 4 and. Now we're getting back into our rhythm for that second half of the. All right, now let's hold that A chord. Let's slow it down a bit. 1 and 2 and let's see if we can change that 1, 2. Second, first, up. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, up. Good. 1, 2, 1, up. Beautiful. Last time. All right, so that's the first half of our rhythm. Now, just like the first one, what we did is we took our main structural rhythm and we just altered it a little, right? We put an upstrum in between beats 1 and 2. On the second half, what we're going to do is alter our rhythm slightly again. What we're going to do is we're going to play a quarter note on 4 instead of playing the end in 4 at the end of 4. So our rhythm sounds like this: 1, 2, and 4. And we just stop there, and then we start the rhythm over. And 4, right? Can you feel that? Instead of and 4 and, we just finish with and 4 on that down strum. Make sense? Let's see if we can try that rhythm. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. Stop there. 1, 2 and 4. Good. 1, 2 and 4. Last time. 2 and finish on 4. All right. So now this is easy. We just play an F sharp minor. We move to an E7 like we normally do. Okay. 1, 2. Ready. Here we go. Down. E7 and just one down strum. Cool? Let's try it again. 2, 3, 4. F sharp. Switch E7 on the offbeat. And then we stop there. Can you kind of hear the melodic line? Da, da. That's what we're trying to play. That's the melodic line we're trying to play. So we're emulating that melodic line with our rhythm plus a couple extra to keep our rhythm consistent. Yeah? 2, 3, F sharp. Nicely done. 2, 3, 4, F sharp. Switch E7 and down. 1, 2, ready, here we go. F sharp and up and down. Last time, here we go, and ready. Beautiful. All right, take a little breather, and I'm going to play the first half with the second. It sounds like this. And we've got our riff, right? You got a fast car. Make sense? Yeah. Cool. Since you're already trying to work it out there, let's remind ourselves of this the first phrase, okay? Remember, we're holding an A chord. We're moving from 1, 2, back to 1, right? That happens on down, up, and then we strum. Now we switch F sharp minor, and then E7, and we do a quarter note on our downbeat. Cool? 2, 3, nice and slow. A chord. F sharp, then E7 and down. Switch back to A. Bum, beam, bum, bum, ba, da, F sharp to E7 and one down strum. Nicely done. Let's do 2 more rotations. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 1. Up strum, up, down. F sharp, E7 and down. Do it again. Sharp, switch E7 and down strum. And from there, we're going to go into a D. You've got a fast car. Make sense? All right, now this riff section actually happens quite a bit in this tune, right? First riff, we do it times 4 right here. Then pretty much every time we end a sequence, we're going to do the riff twice, right? End here, go to verse 2. End verse 2, riff, go to verse 3. End verse 3, riff, takes us into our half verse, then riff before we go to our chorus, right? Make sense? And check it out. Our chorus ends with a riff. Our verse ends with a riff. Our chorus ends with a riff. Our verse ends with a riff. Chorus ends with a riff. And then this ends with a riff to out, right? I want you to see that no matter what, you always want to think every time I finish something, I go into this riff it's like a segue, right? It takes me into whatever the next section is. Make sense? All right, let's try 4 rotations. And then let's see if we can do one line of the verse. D to F sharp minor. Sorry, D to A to F sharp minor to E7. Okay? Nice and slow. Here's the riff. 1, 2, 1, 2, riff, here we go. And 1, 2, 1, up, down, F sharp, E7, and down again. And then F sharp, E7, and back to A. 1, 2, 1, up, down, F sharp. Last time, here we go. Nicely done. F sharp to E7, and we go to D. You've got a fast car. F sharp, and I'll take it to anywhere. And then let's end on A, yeah? Make sense? Let's take a breather. I need to drink some water. You got any questions?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I want to spend the last little bit of time here working on, well, I want to review that a little bit. I want to go over that riff a few more times, but I do want to spend some time talking about our map for learning how to sing this tune. Now, before we get into that, I just want to preface it with this, is like the simplest thing to practicing the ukulele, to practicing singing and playing, is not the strum pattern with the chords while you're moving from the verse to the chorus, right? Think about how many layers and how many elements and how many things you're juggling. How many of those things you don't have in a muscle memory yet and you're still sort of solidifying? If you try to do every one of those elements, it's almost guaranteed it's going to be impossible to sing and play it. So if you just had to guess, if you just had to announce or think about it, like what do you think would be the simplest way to practice singing and playing these lyrics? Like what would be the baseline for you? What would be a suggestion you'd give yourself? Like, oh, it's difficult when I strum and move between the chords, and now I know how to play the riff, so I'm going from the riff into the verse. Like what would you do? What would you say is the easiest way to practice this?
Removing the left hand.
Okay, so that's one step down. I wouldn't say that that's the easiest, though. I would say that that's an easier way to play it, which is like a nice baseline. If that feels good and you can do the rhythm and move through it without the left hand, awesome. That's a great place to start. But I'm talking about a song like this that's really tricky and challenging, especially, you got verse 1, you think you got it down, now you're getting into verse 2, you don't know any of these words, The easiest way to do this is to play along to something that's clicking, right? So you could either turn on a metronome that's going, and there's your count, right? You've got a fast car. I've got and you hear how I'm marking each one of those downbeats as the cycle sort of restarts. I'm marking them with a certain consonant in the song. It's helping me to mark where I'm trying to place each one of those changes, right? And my voice can like repeat a single line over and over again. But I want you to see that concept is actually sort of the simplest place you can start. Something else doing the rhythm. Now, if you're going to actually put it into your body, the easiest way to do it is to clap or to tap. I really like this is learning how to tap on the table with your first beat being your pointer finger, and you just try to make it a little louder. And then you use your middle and then your ring. Why don't you practice that with me a little bit? Just go pointer, middle, ring, pinky. Pointer, middle, ring, pinky. And go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to assign you've, and then we're going to assign I've, right? With each of those downbeats, right? Where my pointer finger is hitting. You've got a, I've got a ticket to, so just see if you can say you've and I've in the right place, right? Here we go. You, I've, right? You've, I've. See? And now we're starting to get exactly where we can place our markers, right? Let's go ahead and end here on 1. So this is a really great strategy to just get like a handle on some of the elements, right? I really like to think, especially these very wordy songs, these ones that just have so many syllables, you're spitting out so many words. Like memorizing this is like memorizing a page of dialogue, right? Like there is so much actual content here. There's barely anything that repeats. There's a chorus that repeats and says the same thing, but it only happens twice in the song. And there's 5 really lengthy verses that are like stanzas. So there's so much to memorize here. What I'm really trying to identify is like, where are the places I can place these, like these mileposts, these markers, right? To help me just get through some of these things. And you hear how even when you're singing, you've, I've, even though you're singing just those 2 things, guess what you're doing? You're singing it correctly. You're singing elements of it correctly. You're singing parts of it correctly. So if you can do these 2 parts correctly, guess what? When you go to start to assemble the other pieces, you've got a little bit of scaffolding to stand on. You know it goes something like this. You've I've got a, and then you've got to fit all of those words in, but at least you have these markers and you know where to anticipate where you need to start these vocal phrases. So if I go to the next line is, maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Those are both the same word, and they're helpful, right? Because if you can mark that starts the rhythmic cycle and that's where the chord progression resets, then it's really helpful to starting to identify how to sing this tune, right? Like if I could say you've and I, and you can say maybe and maybe, then you can just start to like just nonsense the first lines, you know what I mean? You got I got it anywhere, right? Maybe we can make it, maybe we can make it, right? And if you start to just mumble all of those things, it gives you a little bit of a closer connection. You get a little bit more of a success rate than saying, I'm trying to read every lyric correctly. I'm trying to change chords. I'm trying to strum the rhythmic pattern. And when I get to the end of that line, I got to make sure I play the riff too, you know? It's just too much. It's way too much to handle, right? So I'm going to mute us, and let's see if we can try this. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. It's not I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. I want to just try our best muttering all that stuff. You're muted, by the way. I can't hear you. I can't see you, but I'll close my eyes a little bit so I'm not seeing you. And I want you first to do it without tapping. I want you to just listen. So I'm going to set the tempo, and I'll do it a little loud on something a little bit louder so you can hear it. Bum, and 1, 2, ready, and you. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Right? 2, and ready, we start again. Here we go. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Now what I want you to do, so you don't have to like pointer, middle, ring, pinky, get all that jumbled, I want you to just tap with me on the ukulele like this, or knock, or clap, or hit your leg, however you can make sound that's consistent. 2, 3, here we go. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Yeah? Can you feel it now? It's like, that feels hard, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like the whole thing's just falling apart, you know? That often is how it feels when we're trying to strum, even if we're not playing the chords, sometimes just a strum pattern and trying to sing lyrics. And I really want you to pay attention to that. Like, I'm singing all the right words, but if you are looking down and trying to sing the right words, that's another layer of difficulty. Your brain, part of your brain is being taken, even though you're really great at reading, right? Like, we've been doing that since we were really young. We don't have to think about it too much. It's still processing power. It's still part of our brain going towards, like, what is that word? How do you squeeze those syllables into that part? Right now, it should just be like one word. Identify that, mumble the rest, hum the rest, just blah, 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 whatever comes out. And then you can start to, once you start to feel confident, oh yeah, I know how that kind of melodic line flows, then I can start to add those words, right? I'm going to put it up, but I really want you to still concentrate on just sound and trying to hit those moments. 2, 3, 4. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Now, pay attention to this. I didn't actually say this word, did I? Like, just to make it simpler, I omitted this word. And I would probably do that, you know? I don't have to say and. I could say, you got a fast car. I want a ticket. Now, if you wanted to say and, you could go, you got a fast car. And I got a ticket, right? And you have to just like say it as a pickup. But if you omit it, then what happens is you can really put those emphases right there and right there. You can put the emphasis right there, maybe, and right there. And then guess what? After you start to do this and lock in with a line, guess what happens? Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You start to feel that these markers, your body can start to anticipate them. And as long as you align them to one or two of those words, then it starts to feel like, oh, I'm not just trying to sight read this and just completely guess at how I'm supposed to say it. Now you're starting to create this almost structural idea of how to voice one of these words, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, if I unmute you and I said, check out verse 2, where do you think that you would put your emphasis is?
On verse 2?
Yeah, on verse 2, right there. There's that line.
You and I again.
You and I, right? You got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. Now here is where it trips up a little bit. It's not the very first word.
Is it working?
Yeah, been working at the convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just across the border and into the city. And you and I can both get jobs, right? So it's a little bit of this illusion. You're like, oh, it's always starting on the first word. It's always starting right after that comma. And it's like, yes, that's true. But sing the line to yourself and see where you would place that emphasis. And as soon as you've got it, as soon as you know, like we just read through verse 1 and verse 2, and there was really only two examples of it not starting on the first one, right? It's here, been working, and you, right? Those are the only two places where you're not starting there. So maybe you draw a little dot on your handout. Maybe you mark that for yourself somehow. And then, you can actually sing those without saying the pickup, right? Like you can go, instead of been working at the convenience store, guess what you could do? Working at the convenience store, managed to save just a little bit of money. You don't even need that word, right? Omit it. You and I can both get jobs. Omit the and, right? These pickups here, they're not absolutely necessary once you start to understand that this cadence can start to be anticipated. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, cool. So I really want you to think about this approach when you're working on vocals. Like, try to get down to this level. Get the ukulele out of your hand. Like, don't like remove the desire to try and do all the things while you're working at this level. Just take it out of your hands, start to tap. But when you do take it to the ukulele, it can start with, you and I can both get jumped. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dun-dun. Before you get to da-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da, into da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Each one of those stages you can spend as long as you need to start to get comfortable with it. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. I'm going to hit stop on the recording, but I think this is really good work. Remember, right and left hand, lock those in, and then start to include getting our melody over top, but in the simplest way possible to start. Make sense? All right. It was nice to see you. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you later, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.